My name's Sergeant Jon Kerridge Smith. I'm on the No Excuse team. I've been a police officer for 16 years, but I've been on the No Excuse team for the last 3 years since its inception. There's a few places we can have it, which is one on the chest there, which has already been mounted, and we've also been supplied with some other clip mounts where officers can put them on their body where they see fit, and that's obviously been in conjunction with health and safety and obviously our force policy, the uniform user group, and obviously health and safety has played a large part in that, because obviously we can't have it in areas where if we do fall off the motorcycle or involved in a collision, that it's going to impact the protection of our leathers or any other safety equipment that we wear. It all depends on the type of incident we're involved with. Obviously I wear it in the car and on the bike. Generally, when I start responding to an incident, so I use any of my exemptions, I'll flick it on to record, because then that offers me some protection. So should there be any complaints about the way I drive or I ride, and also if I'm involved in any sort of incident, then it's already there. And again, it just captures that best evidence when we arrive on the scene, or when we stop someone, it captures their instant demeanour and things like that, which can then help with any evidence gathering or anything of that ilk. With the 30-second pre-record, so if you and I are having a conversation now, and then something happened or you said something, I can flick it down to record. It's really easy, and it captures obviously the 30 seconds before. So it's a really useful bit of kit for us, especially if we go into RTCs, you can walk through the scene, and they say a picture paints 1,000 words. Well, actually that can be put before somebody, and they can see what we're seeing, which we might not be able to describe as well as a picture. Really, especially on a bike, because obviously I'm holding onto the bike, and obviously all the controls are done by my hand, so something as quick and simple as just either bringing my right hand up off the accelerator and clicking down, or just bringing my left hand across and clicking down. I don't want to have to be trying to find buttons or anything like that, especially with some of our motorcycle gloves. They're quite thick, and they make my hands clunkier than normal. So actually just being able to go down like that, flip it down, it's really useful to have just the clip for me, rather than trying to find a button on the front and press that with gloved hands. It will never work for me, because I'm quite clumsy at the best of times anyway. Police officers don't like change, so anything new that comes in, we're all a bit sceptical about it, and I include myself in that. But when you actually see it work, and you see the evidence it captures, it's really, really good. It's second nature now for most officers. I know all the guys on my team use it, and the guys on roads policing and ARVs, especially involved in pursuits or anything like that, it's actually something that we say on air now, is make sure you got your body on video recording, and because that's how it's used, and then it's just that gentle reminder to people if they haven't turned it on. But yeah, generally now it's been around for some time, and it's accepted that it's really good evidence and a really good bit of kit. I just show them some of the footage, and just say, especially for some of the stuff that we do, where people make admissions, it saved me going to court, because someone has made an admission to using their mobile phone, for example, after they've been cautioned, and then actually when it comes to it, when they get the letter through to court 3 or 4 months down the line, they say, oh, I don't want to do that, and then you provide all that evidence, and then all of a sudden they go from a not guilty plea to a guilty plea. It saves us going to court on just the simple thing of, look, you've been cautioned, you've admitted to using it, the evidence is there, and it saves all that time. And again, it's just cops with simple things. We need simple procedures, and it is quite simple. Again, once you know how, but that's when we rely on the training, and having those people within the teams and wider areas that are used to using it. I've got a chap on my team who's really good, and if there's something with body one I'm not sure about, or I've forgotten like how to redact something, because it's not something we do all the time. He's a whiz with the technology, and he'll talk me through it and do that. So it's simple for people like me who don't use some of the back screens as a sergeant as much as some of the PCs. But actually, what I said to him is, if I can do it, anyone can really. I can only speak from my personal experience. A lot of the time, I tell people it's recording, and they seem to forget about it. When we get some people who like to, how do I put it, try and antagonise us into something, and they start recording us, it's quite good to turn and say, well, okay, well, I've actually been recording you as well. And from a complaint side of it, because obviously I deal with public complaints against my officers, actually it's reduced the complaints, or actually meant that complaints aren't as they first seem, because actually, again, the picture paints 1,000 words, and I can see the officers have done nothing wrong, and actually I can then go back to the complainant and say, I get where you're coming from, but your version of events isn't what the camera says. But more importantly, if the cops have done something wrong, actually we can use that as a learning experience and go, you know what guys, come and look at the footage. Could we have done that slightly better? Yes, we could. So it's a really great tool for that, and I've not had many members of the public that have said it's rubbish or we don't need it. You know, anything that helps us be more accountable, or actually we can fight back to the public and say, look, it's not that 5-second YouTube clip that you've seen. I've viewed the 5-minute clip, and this is what it shows. Your 5-second clip doesn't show us in the best of light, but bang, is the 4 minutes and 55 seconds before that has resulted in that officer doing that particular thing at that particular time.